All right, good morning, traders. Today is November 10th, 2023. My SPY pivot this morning, 436.45. Above, I'm a bull. Below, I'm a bear. All four indices in the FNGU remain in daily downtrends with no significant higher highs nor higher lows. USO and UNG are back in daily downtrends with lower highs and lower lows on their daily charts. Silver's formed a small bull flag by climbing back into the prior consolidation channel of 2050 to 22. Gold seems to be forming a very tall bull flag by consolidating over the prior consolidation wedge. I'm looking for SPY to put in a fib pullback before going higher, if that's what it's going to do. Right now I feel it's a bull trap. We'll see what the future brings. Looking at recent price action, if we look at SPY, SPY did not produce any support levels in that rally back to the high for to support a full fib pullback. So we'll see. So let's go take a look at some charts. All right, let's start off with the first one. Start off with SPY on the daily. Let's blow this up. All right, so what do we got here? We got a lower low and a higher high. All right, so from the previous day's candle. Now, if we look at price action from the prior high, did we squeak out a higher high? Well, just barely. Okay, so for me, it's not a significant higher high. So without producing that significant higher high, we could come tumbling back down to this area right here. All right, because we did not put in any support levels in this rip back to the prior high. All right, so just keep in mind, we would like it to put in a higher low, maybe at the neckline, maybe at the fib, 236, or at the fib 382, or maybe at the midpoint. We'll see what happens, okay? But notice we did not put in one single support level, to support price for any length of time. See here, they've got a battery of six candles right there. Well, what did that do? Well, that stopped price from going higher. So in order to support price and keep it from falling, out of the sky, you could have used some support levels through here, and they did not produce any. So, beware. So from my perspective, it looks like it could be a possible bull trap. Just saying that. We'll see what the future brings. All right, so looks like we may get a pullback. Well, we've already started a pullback, so we'll see if we have any continuation, because that's what we're looking for from this this candle we got right there. All right, we got a red candle that took out 3 days of price action. Let's watch this for the MMRP to develop. You've got probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days up. Let's look for 5 days of maybe consolidation and then 5-day pullback to support. And then let's look for those 5-day bounces, price advancement candles to the upside. So we'll watch this. Let's look for this on the 5-day pattern, and we'll see what happens here, okay, for the MMRP with a 5-day pattern. So there's SPY, okay? It's bullish on the hourly chart, but on the daily chart, still no significant higher highs and no higher lows to report yet. So for me, it's still in a daily downtrend, even though we're way up here over trend indicator. Okay, it's looking good, but I need to see that higher low be produced. Either that or some consolidation of time over to the right. So we'll see what happens. All right. So there's SPY. Good morning, Brian and Devin. Let's take a look at QQQ. And I'm just going to go out on a limb and say probably the same thing's happening in QQQ, which it is. Again, we'll watch this for that MMRP to develop. And I'm sure if it develops in SPY, it will probably most likely develop in QQQ as well. All right, same thing happening. They did not put in any support levels. All right, so now it's just consolidating up here at prior highs. Did they squeak out a higher high? Well, you can see there's a little bit of space up there between the crosshairs and the prior high over here. All right, so if you see I put this in, here's the crosshairs, and you can see, there's a little bit of space. So did they squeak out a higher high? Yes. Is it a significant higher high? No, it's not. All right, so that's still in jeopardy of falling all the way back down, or back to the midpoint, or back to this consolidation area over here. So we'll see what happens. There's QQQ, daily candle compared to yesterday, bearish engulfing. All right, we put a higher high and a lower low. So volatility expanding here on QQQ. All right, let's take a look at FNGU. FNGU looking like the same thing, bearish engulfing. All right, lower low, higher high. Okay, same thing exists here. They did not put in any support levels through here in this rally right through there. So again, it's in jeopardy of getting rejected. The rubber band effect here on this downtrend line and falling all the way back. So we'll see what happens. There's FNGUs. Same thing exists here on FNGU. In my eyes, it's still in a daily downtrend. If we use the crosshairs, you can see there's just a little bit of space up there where price action broke the prior high, but it's not a significant higher high. So it's the exact same verbiage I use for QQQ and SPY. All right, it's not a significant higher high. We're still in jeopardy of falling all the way back down. So there's FNGU. Would they do it around the holiday season? I don't know if that really matters to them. They're just out to make money. And they're looking for opportunity. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. All right, so there's FNGU. Now let's take a look at IWM. This is our leading market indicator. Now if you look at IWM, it's a little bit different, actually quite a bit different than FNGU, QQQ, and SPY, okay? It's already started to roll over back to, well, let's put the quad lines in. Look at that. Lo and behold, this is below our midpoint. Not a good sign. Lower high and lower low. Pretty good sized red candle if you ask me. All right, so is this headed back for the lows to make lower lows? It's a good question. They didn't seem to stop at the midpoint. They stopped yesterday, the day before, but they did not stop yesterday. So if this is where the market is going, just, beware on those long positions for SPY and QQQ. Not saying to abandon them. I'm just saying, be ready for anything. So IWM back below the midpoint, still in a daily downtrend, lower highs and lower lows, all right, in a daily pullback. Now notice this was, nice green trend indicator there at one time, and now you can see we got a red trend indicator once again. Okay, you see the 3/8 cross, the bullish 3/8 cross, and now it looks like we're getting a bearish 3/8 cross. We'll see if they can recover from that or what they're going to do. If it's, excuse me, if they're just going to consolidate or continue on down towards the recent lows. So there's IWM, still in a downtrend. All right. Okay, let's take a look at Diamond Dow. All right, Diamond Dow, yes, Diamond Dow squeaks out a higher high, but let me just look at those red candles on these last 2 days. It is not a significant higher high for me. So in my eyes, this is still in a downtrend. Again, they put in no support levels to support prior price act, to support a fib pullback. So this very well could come tumbling back down to these lows. We'll have to wait and see what happens. We'll see where they find support. I don't know where they will. Maybe they'll find it right here at 332.84, which probably represents the midpoint. Yeah, pretty much. That's about the first place I think that they could find support on Diamond Dow. So Diamond Dow kind of rolling over here. Right now it just looks like a tall bull flag at this point. So there's Diamond Dow. We'll see what happens with it. All right, if they want to continue on with this 1 hour rally. So let's take a look at IYT. It's our second leading indicator. All right, is the transports. So if we look at the transports, they're putting in a little mini bull flag right here. All right, again, they didn't put any support on their way back up there. But if we look at the bigger picture, still got lower highs and lower lows. So consolidation, maybe a breakout to make some new highs. We'll see what happens. But right now, we've got lower highs and lower lows. It's still in a downtrend. There's nothing new that says this is an uptrend other than the hourly time frame showing us an hourly bull flag up there. You know, you got an hourly rally. Now we've got consolidation. So there's IYT. Good morning, Thea. Let's take a look at SMH. All right, SMH, again, no significant higher highs and no significant higher lows. Actually, no any higher lows. Again, this rally failed to put in any support levels to support any fib pullback. So just beware that this could come tumbling back down just as fast as it came up there. All right, so looking for this. Like to see this put in a flag, something to support price so it can blast off of and produce some higher highs and possibly pull back. Notice there's no minor support throughout these moves to actually, stop price from falling. There's none. There's no minor support here. If you look at SMH, you look at QQQ, you look at all of them except for IWM, none of them have any support. You know what I'm saying? For price to pull back to and bounce back up. So there's SMH. Now let's take a look at XLF. Again, SMH is in a downtrend with lower highs and lower lows on the daily chart. All right? No significant higher highs, no higher lows. Daily candle is something different. We've got higher lows and higher highs on the daily candle. That's a bit different than the others, but again, there's no support here for price to pull back to. Okay, I'm going to go back to XLF now. All right, XLF looking like coming up and kind of bull flagging right now. All right, again, didn't put in any support levels for price to do that fib pullback or to tag minor support and then bounce higher. So we'll see what happens. So if we look at XLF, still has not produced a significant higher high nor any higher lows. All right. So on the bigger time frame, it's a downtrend. On the daily, it's a downtrend. On the hourly, it's an hourly bull flag in an uptrend. All right. So XLF, daily downtrend still. We'll have to wait and see what happens. All right, USO. All right, so here's crude oil putting in lower highs and now lower lows. They were recently in a nice uptrend, consolidating over 74, but that seemed to have vanished this week. So now we've got a downtrend with lower highs and lower lows. I got to call it what it is. All right, we just actually just don't want this to break. See this consolidation area right here? We really just don't want that to break below that major support right through there. See those little tails on the end of my crosshairs there? So below 70.36, we don't want it below there. that would be a break of major support. That's the consolidation there. So there's USO. UNG doing the same thing, all right? Lower highs, and now we got lower lows. So UNG back in I guess we're going to call this a failed breakout, because now we're all the way back and falling through the consolidation channel, making lower lows here. This was the low. We had a higher low, and then we had another higher low, failed to produce the high, and now we've got lower lows. All right, that's UNG. Silver. All right, silver was in a consolidation channel for about 6-7 months. Then it fell out, so it was in a daily downtrend. It still remains in a daily downtrend, but if you look at this from this point right here and over, you've got a bull flag. So you've got a mini bull flag in the consolidation channel. Almost looks like they're putting in a pennant right through here and right through there. So we've got a mini bull flag right through here with the flag portion up in the consolidation channel again between, just over 20.50 all the way up to 23. So the flag is stuck here underneath 22. All right, so this is a bull flag. The next move for silver should be, I say should be, all right? It should be in this direction. Okay, you move up, then you move back, and then you move up. So we'll see what happens here on silver. All right, that's a bullish move. And let's go take a look at GLD. All right, here's the consolidation wedge. We fell out of the consolidation wedge and recovered soundly by breaking through the consolidation wedge back to make higher highs. So gold in a daily uptrend, putting in a pullback. Like to see it get a little bit lower in my buy box here. We'll see what happens. All right, gold, nice, big, tall bull flag for GLD. All right, so now let's take a look at the US dollar index. And where am I going to find that? I've got it here somewhere. All right, US dollar index. So we were consolidating here over 105.50. Then we fell out because we failed to make the higher high. All right, it was a failed breakout. And then we put in a higher low. So kind of got expanding volatility here in the US dollar index. You can see as those price wicks go that way, and these tails, if these candles here, they come down and fly back up to the consolidation. So we got that megaphone expanding volatility happening now. But you can see right now price action has returned to that consolidation level over 105.50. So we'll have to see what happens with the US dollar, if it wants to continue going higher or if it's actually going to roll over, produce a lower high, and then roll over back down to the 200 SMA here on the daily chart. All right, and you notice 200 SMA is kind of lining up with this minor support over here and this minor support right here. So I could easily see this pulling back to this 200 SMA, possibly bear flagging from there or bouncing straight off of it. So there's the US dollar index. All right, so for our economic calendar, all right, for today we got, well, don't forget today is options expiration Friday. So Mr. Powell spoke at 2 p.m. yesterday. I don't think he did anything bad nor anything good for the markets. We've got a couple of Fed speakers in the morning, consumer sentiment at 10, and a Treasury statement at 2. That's it for the rest of the week. It was a really light week as far as economic data was concerned. They spent a whole lot of time last week on employment, unemployment, all the different ways you could spin employment. There's a whole lot of numbers came out of that. So we'll see what happens. Max Payne for this morning. Let me refresh it. And we'll see what we got. Okay, November 10th, Max Payne still 433. 2 puts to every call right now. All right. So they may want to rally back to the highs and squeeze the puts because we got 2-1. It kind of suggests that it would behoove the market makers to rip back to the highs and put on a short squeeze for the puts. So we'll see what happens here today. All right, we'll see what the market maker wants to do. All right, for the earnings calendar, not much happening today. Friday, Algonquin Power and Utilities, only $3 billion. Really nothing to speak of. Let's see what Monday's got going on. Monday, Mitsubishi, that's a foreign ADR. Sumitomo, 62 billion, another foreign, probably ADR. Mizuho, 40 billion. So really nothing happening. The biggest one is probably Tyson Foods, 16 billion. Be nice to see that one do well, but we'll see what happens. All in all, nothing really big coming on Monday. Tuesday, we got a big one. Finally got a big one. All right, about 300,000 on Home Depot on Tuesday. That could help the markets, especially the retail sector. All right, that's about it, really. Everything else is kind of lightweight. Wednesday, Cisco, 210 billion, and TJX, 100 billion. And then they just got smaller from there. Target, 50 billion. All right, but the main one, Cisco, that would be the headliner, and TJX, along with Home Depot. All right, so Home Depot reports Tuesday, and Cisco would be a big one on Wednesday next week. So not a very heavy calendar for next week for earnings so far. I didn't look all the way out, but from what I see, not really heavy. The big notables are Cisco and Home Depot. All right, so that's it for this morning. Just going to do a little bit of, I'll do that a little bit later. All right, so that's it. I want to take a little break, get my video rendered. I'll take questions in the room. All right, and I'll see everybody out there in YouTube land this evening at 4. I don't even think I'm going to do an evening video this at 4 because it's the weekend. Just catch the video in the morning. So on Fridays, I'm probably not going to do the afternoon video. Yes, I will take a look at those. All right, so I'll take questions in the room and render the video, and we'll open up the markets.